Have you ever wondered what goes on behind the scenes when the movie turns on at the theater? Have you ever wondered who is responsible for your date tonight? Today you're going to meet a professional projectionist who can tell you all about the excitement that goes on behind the scenes at your local cinema. She is one of the few girls who knows how to run and operate the projection booth and can tell you all the things that can go wrong if the movie isn't threaded properly. Our guest is the person who works behind the silver screen to make these things possible. The Humanities Communications Arts Department at Norwalk Community College presents The New Directors, the show that introduces you to television's future writers, directors, and personalities. And now join our host, Eric Hahn, to meet the new director.
Thank you for joining us for today's edition of The New Directors. All of the people involved with this program are students in the television production course and are directing, switching, controlling audio, operating cameras, and acting as talent for the first time today. The guests you are about to meet are students who, when not on camera, are behind the scenes, working hard to bring this program to you with as few mistakes as possible. Each student will write and direct 4 different productions. This program will give them the chance to talk about themselves, the productions they have completed, and give you the chance to get to know them and watch their progress throughout the semester. Our guest today is a person who, when not bartending, is making sure that movies we pay an arm and a leg to go see are running smoothly up in the projection booth. Now, I would like you to meet our guest today, Claire.
Hi.
So Claire, we know you're a projectionist. Can you tell us a little bit about what your duties are and what goes on behind the scenes at the movie theater?
Well, projectionists, we have to make sure the movie's threaded, and what the projection used to do is they would have to stay up in the projection booth the whole time. That's why there's a bathroom and whatever. But nowadays, we don't have to do that because there's platters and everything's all together. It's not changing each reel. All the reels are spliced in together. So you just thread the movie, make sure it's in frame and in focus. So then you don't have to worry about it. Worry about the movie. But sometimes we get brain wraps, which is horrible. That's when you don't thread it through the correct one of the little knobs that makes the platter spin. And when that happens, like, the movie tears, and we would have to tell people, can't watch the movie. This actually happened to me once. First time I actually closed the theater by myself was when Transformers 2 came out. It was me, and like the head boss dude was downstairs, and I remember the movie just shut off and I hear the intercycle button buzzing. I'm like, oh crap, what's wrong? I go upstairs. There's a huge brain rot. Half the film's on the floor. Half the film is like torn. I'm like, oh my god, I don't know what to do. I was panicking. My boss, he's like, what's wrong? I was like, don't worry about it. You can't watch this. So I had to call like the other projection people to come in to fix the movie, because I remember when I first started working there, that happened with Harry Potter, the 4th one I think it was, or the 5th one, and it took us literally 5 hours to put the movie back together. We were there till like 1 in the morning. It was hilarious. But other than that, just make sure the film's threaded properly and nothing goes wrong. That's our main job. But we always have to make sure the fan's on and the light's on the projector, or else it's not going to run. Well, you need a fan on, or else it's going to overheat.
Wow. Sounds like there's a lot that goes on that you wouldn't really expect. Can you tell us why you decided to take the TV production course?
Well, I took it because I was always curious about how you actually make the movies. I work at the very end of the movie industry, and I want to see what it takes to, in the beginning, at the starting point. So, you know, work my way backwards and go towards where I am right now. This is one of the reasons. Also, I'm really into screenwriting, and I wanted to write my own screenplay out and actually film that, hopefully soon, to see how that would go. Also, it seemed really interesting to learn how to actually use the camera, not just be amateur shooting all the time and having these different zoom in and outs like crazy everywhere. So that's why I wanted to take that.
Great. Makes sense. Can you tell us some of the most useful things you've learned in the course so far?
Avid is one of the, Avid editing, because without it, I would have not known how to edit a movie. I would have been like, okay, that's it's horrible right now, and you would have to redo. That would have been taking a huge time. Like, also the different types of field view and the close-ups and the angle axis with the shallow depths of field and the great depths of field with the z-axis and wide and narrow axes, and the different types of picturing with the close-ups and like extreme close-ups and able to angling 3 people in the photo and make sure one looks bigger than the other. And
sounds like you've learned a lot.
yeah.
Would you mind telling us about some of the productions you've created, like the Learning Project, the Action Sequence, the Fall Foliage, and the Orange Project?
Sure. My Orange Project, I decided to do with, the Tropicana commercial is always like fresh from the orange. I was like, oh, let me try to reinvent the commercial and let's do Tropicana. And that would be really funny to do, because my other ones failed. I actually was trying to do orange soda with an orange at work, but that didn't really work out, and this one actually turned out. Here's my fall one. I liked filming this one the best, really. It was able to go outside, see the leaves transition and the weather changing, and it was pretty interesting to do. That's near Den Road in Stamford, off it, and it's pretty cool. Oh, and this is my action sequence. It's called Writing a Letter. It was like one of the second things I learned, and yeah, it's pretty cool. And it's, just finding different. At the end, I was able to edit. That was like the interesting most, throwing the paper in, having the right timing. So,
great.
Yeah.
Well, they all look like great projects, but you have a favorite?
Yes,
what do you
I do. My New England one was my favorite one to do. I like being outdoors and getting nature. Nature is like very interesting to me. I normally take like photos when I'm outside, and like this is like great. When I was filming, I actually had my little camera with me, taking photos as well as shooting it, just to show where I was located. And it's just something I just like the colors of it, and yeah, it's like. It was just really fun to do because you're able to go like outside, and it said fall New England. You got like so many places to film and shoot, and it's great. You can use everywhere. You're able to use like whatever you want. You can use your backyard. You can go like to the park, everywhere. It's just fun to do. It was good to be outdoors too. Yep. And,
So you mentioned a variety of things you've learned in the course. Would you mind talking about the most interesting and important thing you've learned and how you plan to put it to use in the future?
Editing. I want to like keep learning my skills in editing and Avid, so hopefully I'm able to, when I do shoot a screenplay for a movie or a short film, that I'm able to edit completely on my own without getting aggravated with the computer and not knowing what I'm doing. And also, with the camera and being able to use it properly in the different angles. That's what I would like to do.
Today we got to meet someone who shared with us some tricks of the trade and what really happens behind the screens at a movie theater. I would like to thank our guest Claire for joining us today. Claire.
Thanks for having me.
We hope you enjoyed meeting some of television's future directors, and we hope you will continue to join us each week to watch our progress. Thank you, and good day.